Vijnana Ghanaswarupam Vijnana Vishranana Baddhadiksham Dayanidhim Dehabhritam Sharanyam Devam Hayagreevamaham Prapadye. Namassarvebhyaha. Bhakti as experienced by Kurattalavar in Atimanushastavam. Alvars and Nayanmars played a very important role in the Bhakti movement in the 7th to 12th centuries, singing thousands of songs reflecting their love and devotion to the Supreme. The Alvars Bhakti literature contributes to the establishment of a culture deviating from the Vedic religion with devotion as the only path to salvation. Following this marga, many brilliant acharyas and sishyas considered as incarnations of various amshas of the Bhagavan have propagated this bhakti through innumerable works in Sanskrit and Tamil. One such incarnation of the Srivatsam of the Bhagavan, that is the mole on his chest, is Kurattalavar, and he is the disciple of Sri Ramanuja. Kurattalavar, with his unparalleled knowledge, unflinching devotion to his guru and service to Visishtadvaita philosophy, has etched his place in the annals of spiritual history. Among the various works of Kurattalavar, the most prominent is Panchastavam, the 5 stavas, Shri Stavam, Shri Vaikuntha Stavam, Shri Sundarabahu Stavam, Shri Varadaraja Stavam, and Shri Atimanusha Stavam. Atimanusha Stavam has 61 slokas and has extensive references to Rama and Krishna avatars and the superhuman feats, that is Atimanusha Leelas of Sriman Narayana during these Vibhava avatars. An astonished Alvan argues how, even though Bhagavan claims to be just human, did superhuman feats or Atimanusha Cheshtitams in his various avatars. Alvan has unassailably proved with Tarkam, that is logic, Pramanam, authority, and Anubhavam, experience, as to how Emberuman is the Sarveshwaran. Kureshar selects Cheshtitams from Itihasas and Puranas in this Tavam for salutations, demonstrating that there is none equal to or superior to him in the world of humans and celestials. Na tat samaha chapi adhikaha cha vidyate. In the first few shlokas of Atimanusha Stavam, Kureshar talks of Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Archa and Antaryami Swarupams of the Brahman and establishes that he, the Bhagavan, has Aprakrita Suddha Sattvamaya Shariram. His Vibhava avatars are just a result of his own will and not due to the karmas associated with Prakriti and the 3 gunas. We know the Brahman possesses twofold characteristics: freedom from imperfections and possession of infinite auspicious gunas like Saulabhyam, Saushilyam, Karunyam, Dhairyam and so on. When one seeks his refuge out of compassion, he performs delightful activities, uncharacteristics of mere humans, which fills us with wonder. The Atimanusha Cheshtitams of the Lord are countless as described by and enjoyed by the Alvan. Let us enjoy a few of these Cheshtitams, wondrous acts, through the eyes of Alvan. Tvan nirmita jatharaga chatavat triloki kim bhikshanadi amrite bhavata durapa madhye kadatu na vichakramishe jagachet tvad vikramai kathamiva shrutiranchita syat. About Trivikrama Avatara, the Alvar says, the 3 worlds are created by you and kept inside your stomach ready for protection during the Pralaya Kala. How is it then you could not gain these 3 worlds except through requesting Bali to cede them to you as Bhiksha? Your Saushilyam got you these 3 worlds through Yachakam. This is Atimanusham, isn't it? Next, Etat katham kathayayan mathitastvaya sau hitva svabhava niyamam prathitam trilokyam ashvapsaro vishasudha vidhuparijata lakshmyatmana parinato jaladhir babhuva. Kureshar is struck with dismay about the Atimanusha Cheshtitam of the Lord churning the milky ocean. Here, the general rules of what transforms into what are all cast aside. See, typically, clay transforms into pot and thread transforms into cloth. But what has the Milky Ocean fetched us? A horse, an elephant, the halahala, the Chandra, celestial nymphs, Rambha and Menaka, the life-giving nectar, Sudha, and the best of all, Mahalakshmi. This indeed is Atimanusha Cheshtitam of his. Next, Prichhami Kinchana Yada Kila Raghavatve Maya Mrigasya Vashago Manujatva Maugdhyat Sita Viyoga Vivasho Nachatad Gatignaha Pradastada Paragatim Hi Katham Khagaya. Alvan asks the Lord, you ran after the magical golden deer for Sita, mesmerized by its beauty like a normal human being, even though you were cautioned by Lakshmana that it was just a delusion. On another occasion, when Ravana abducted Sita, you could not trace his path. Yet you had the power to set Jatayu on the path of moksha. Here Alvan brings out the contrasting capabilities of the Lord and wonders how this can be reconciled without being awestruck. Salan hi sapta sagirin sarasatalanyan ekeshu mandajavato nirapatrayastvam teshveka vivyathanar khinna kapi pranunnam shakhamrigam mrigayasesma katham sahayam. The Bhagavan's Saulabhya and Saushilya gunas are evident here. The Alvan says, he is amused that Rama, who could effortlessly pierce 7 Sala trees and the Kula Parvatas with a single arrow, sought the friendship and help of Sugriva, a mere Vanara, who even doubted his power and capabilities in the first place. Kuresha recounts the extent to which Rama went to gain Sugriva's friendship and trust. Tvam dakshinasya nivasan udadhes tatepi Durantarottara payodhi mahantaripe Daityan nijaika sharaparanayan kimetam Lankam stitotra kurushena kilasma bhasma. Bhagavan's Dairya Guna is enjoyed here by the Alvan. He says, angered by the ocean king's indifference in helping you cross the ocean to Lanka, you got ready to send a fiery arrow to dry up the waters of the ocean. Only after the ocean king performed Sharanagati was he spared. And the arrow that was set ready to dry up the ocean waters was redirected at some faraway island to destroy sinners. Now the Alvar asks, if your power was so profound and far-reaching, how can one understand your inaction in destroying Ravana and his army who were not far away from you? Similarly, during the Setu Bandham, the boulders thrown by the Vanaras floated on the ocean instead of sinking only because of your Sankalpa Shakti, Alvar says. This is a feat that cannot be achieved even by the Devas. What an Amanishikam act was this. We have seen the Lord's Atimanusha Cheshtitams in Ramavatara, a couple of Atimanusha Cheshtitams during Krishna Avatara of the Lord. Saputana Shakatam Arjunayoscha Yugmam Balyochitanya Paracheshtita Vishpulinge Yasya Labhanta Shalabhatva Mahoni Gudhaha Satvam Braje Vivridhishe Kila Kamsa Bhitya. Alvan says, hey Bhagavan, how can we understand your baffling act of hiding at Gokula out of fear of Kamsa when earlier as an infant you destroyed effortlessly the evil Putana and Shakatasura and brought down the 2 Arjuna trees that were curse-stricken. And how can we reconcile this high act of yours? And in another instance, Gopala Potakataya Nibhritam Dharitrim Avastu Kamaiva Sannapi Balya Laulyat Aindram Nihatya Maham Adrimatho Dadhanaha Kim Tasthishe Suraganaya Savasavaya. Here the Paratvam of Bhagavan is enjoyed by Alvan. He says, you lifted the Govardhana hill as an umbrella to protect everyone in Gokula from the violent thunderstorms and the vicious downpour caused by furious Indra, because he had asked the people not to worship Indra, which they used to do every year as an annual festival. In the end of Atimanusha Stavam, Alvan wishes that he were at least a grain of sand or a tree or one of the fellow Gopas in Vrindavan during Krishnavatara, so that he could have attained Paramapurushartham, that is moksha. He earnestly asks, when can we reach your sacred feet to perform Nitya Kainkaryam? He completely surrenders himself to the Sarvajnan Bhagavan, pleading to accept his bhakti and forgive his sins. Uttering Sharanagati mantras, he calls to Bhagavan's Jnana, Shakti and Karuna to come to his rescue, considering his Akinchinatvam and Ananya Gatitvam. He places a powerful appeal to correct him and engage him in his Kainkaryas. So as a conclusion, I would just say a few lines. Our Alvas and Nayanmas express their bhakti towards Bhagavan as a mother, as a lover, as Sudarshan said, Panchavida Bhakti, as a friend or other relationships, through complete surrender. Although Alvan talks of the same Sharanagati, he has employed logic, pramanam, logic, tarkam, pramanam and anubhavam in experiencing his love and bhakti. This brings out a fresh dimension and perspective to the bhakti that we already know. Namaste.